Sony's latest attempt at trying to build a universe around Spider-Man related characters and villains has just released, so today I thought it's time for me to stop and talk about Kraven the Hunter. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below. What did you think of Kraven the Hunter? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Comment that down below in the comment section below. WTF was Sony thinking? I'm not even going to edit that out. I was going to say the actual word, but I'm just going to leave it here. WTF was Sony thinking with this film here? Please don't forget to check out that Twitter and that TikTok link. Those are in the description. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into our rant.
There's only one way off.
There's 6 of us and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
So right out of the gate, I'm just going to let you guys know, right out of the gate, this movie's terrible. I didn't review Madam Web because I was like, you know what? It's one negative one. I'm not gonna review it. I don't want to talk negative about that movie. And in particular, I found some interesting things in that movie that I thought was pretty cool, but I didn't review it. I didn't review Venom: The Last Dance because it broke me. I'm still making that video, but instead of it being a review, it's gonna be a video essay because they broke me. But you know what? Strike two. There's 2 strikes, okay? Kraven, please don't disappoint me, Kraven. Kraven, come out and be the one thing that is like, okay, you know what? It wasn't great, it wasn't epic, it wasn't amazing, but you know what? I did have a fun time in it, and it's definitely not a bad movie. It definitely lines up with Venom or Venom Let There Be Carnage, and you know what? I really like both of those films. In particular, I love Let There Be Carnage. I think Let There Be Carnage is a great film. Watching this was one of the worst experiences I have seen watching a movie. And I've had worse theater experiences before. This wasn't a bad theater experience. It was just a bad experience watching a movie. It wasn't even in the sense that, you know what, we all knew Madam Web wasn't going to be that great. Okay. But Kraven was the thing that truly tipped everybody over and was like, you know what, it's even worse than Morbius and Madam Web. If Morbius and Madam Web are at the bottom, then Kraven is the Earth's core. It's at its center. It's below the Earth. It's dog crap. I had a conversation with a friend a couple months back about how Sony still makes great non-Spider-Man movies. I told him, I don't know if I'm gonna put the messages up there on the screen or not, but I told my guy, I was like, yo, Morbius wasn't great, but I liked Morbius. I had a alright time. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad enough to me where I said, you know what, Morbius is awful. It was interesting. But that wasn't the strike for me, because Let There Be Carnage had just came out, and then Across the Spider-Verse is coming out. Okay, great. Then we move into Madam Web. Okay, we have 3 Sony non-Spider-Man movies coming out this year with Spider-Man related characters. Let's see how all 3 of these do. Madam Web comes out, that's a strike. Okay. Around August time, I had this conversation with my friend. He was like, Morbius sucked, Madam Web sucked. Okay, I'll give you Madam Web. I liked Let There Be Carnage. Morbius was okay for me. We'll see how Kraven and Venom 3 do. And boy, oh boy. Not only did they strike out with Venom 3, they also decided to take another L on the chin with this film right here. Keep in mind, guys, Kraven is a Spider-Man villain that is human and hunts this character with his wits and hunting abilities. Now, we knew Spider-Man wasn't going to be in this, but how hard is it to make a movie about a man who doesn't hunt animals? He hunts people. That should easily be something that's interesting towards me, that's geared towards me, that's geared towards an audience member like myself. How lit is that? How lit is it a guy who hunts people instead of animal, who hunts people because they hunt animals? That's lit. I think that's pretty interesting. It can be a revenge story like everyone thought this movie was going to be. It could be anything like that. And this is the thing. This is what makes it so frustrating, because there are glimpses in all of these movies, Venom, The Last Dance, and Madam Web, and even Morbius. There are glimpses of some good. With the family tragedy saga of Kraven and his father, and that no matter how hard he tries, he will always turn out like his father. He can never run away. He can never escape. He has to embrace his heritage. And I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting because how many of us can relate to, hey, I want to do better than what my father did, or I want to do better than what my parents did. And in the end, you find yourself growing into more and more like them. And it's interesting. I think that's interesting. And that's something that we can all relate to, right? But no, we didn't have that. For 2 hours and 7 minutes, we're watching a cartoon. We're watching a bizarre cartoon with live action actors. It's an embarrassment that this movie exists the way that it does, with Oscar-winning actors, good writers, and a director, and even the freaking budget. This is not some $15 million film. This isn't even some $10 million film. In fact, it's not even a $2 film. This is a $190 million film. And mind you, keep in mind, it went up because strikes, and I guess pandemic, and then you also take into the fact that it was delayed over a year. So it rose from 110 to 190. You have to understand, though, they had a year and 3 months to reshoot and you know, do some different things to the film. You know, they say to make the film better. This movie was supposed to come out last year, and then they delayed it to this year. What was so different? What was the defining factor in Sony's head that went, you know what, this is so bad, we're gonna take a year and 2 months, a year and 3 months to make it better? And you guys still come out with a terrible film. What is it? What was it? And the only reason why I'm so passionate about this film, the only reason why this one is getting a review, the only reason why I'm talking about Kraven the Hunter is not because I just like talking about negative things. I didn't talk about Madam Web or Venom the Last Dance, but because I actually had faith in this movie. Stupid on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You fooled me twice this year, Sony. But I still had hopes. Kraven the Hunter could be the one thing that it wasn't great, it wasn't perfect, but it also wasn't terrible. It wasn't as terrible, and it wasn't as awful as Madam Web and Venom the Last Dance. But no, it's so much worse. At times, I started to give the film grace. And oh, that's not that bad, or at least the action's good. I love the way that Kraven is moving in the movie. That's great. And then they would throw some idiotic shit at the camera like this.
All of our guys are dead.
It's just stupid. It was so stupid. Everyone's talking about it, so let's do it here. The dialogue is fucking ass. And I don't even like cussing in these videos. The dialogue is ass. It sucks. It's terrible. As if these Oscar winners are amateur actors. As if the director doesn't know how to direct people. As if these Oscar winners don't know how to do great delivery in their lines. The ADR is so bad. I don't even know which are reshot scenes or not. They blend together perfectly. I mean, at least the film is in focus. But at the end of the day, the movie's still terrible. It's like they've never acted before, the Oscar winners. And even the writing, it's like these writers forgot, oh yeah, I'm an actual human person who has interacted with other human beings. Look, if you're an alien out there watching this review, watching this rant, guys, we do not talk like how they do in Kraven the Hunter. We don't talk like that. It's just weird. Like, and even one of the three of the writers of this film wrote the Equalizer films. And from my knowledge, these are well-received movies. I mean, they got 3 of them. He wrote all 3. The other 2, the writing duo, helped write Iron Man from 2008, the start of the freaking MCU. And mind you, Iron Man had a bunch of writers. They didn't even have a complete script by the time they got done filming. But you know what? That movie spawned a whole 35 to 40 plus project saga. It is the highest grossing cinematic universe in history, and we have never seen a streak like Marvel did from 2008 all the way until 2019. We have never seen a streak of incredible quality in the history of cinema. started with the Iron Man film, in which 2 of the 3 writers of this film helped write. Aaron Taylor Johnson pulls off the physique, and you know what? I have a soft spot for him having powers. I thought that the way that he was moving inside of the film was pretty fun, and you know what? And I like the idea of him having powers that makes his eyes glow like that, and also like he has other senses to where he can hear from far away. He has all the senses of the animals. But that being said, this is one of the worst films of the year, and a terrible joke to the audience. Sony's Spider-Man-less universe ended in a whimper because they did announce that this was the last, or at least up to right now, the last of the Sony Spider-Man-less universe. And it went out with a whimper. You guys, on your 100th year anniversary, just like Disney did, released 3 terrible projects. It's like Sony trolled the audience, and in doing so, they trolled me. I was a fan of this universe. It was the cousin to the MCU. It was the one that, you know, just came around for different holidays. Okay, let's put out a Venom movie. Let's see how that does. Oh, it almost makes $1 billion. Let's do another one. Okay, boom, put Carnage in there. Great. Have some teases to Spider-Man a little bit, but you know what? We're not going to do that. Let's move in a different direction. Okay, you got a Venom trilogy. I think Venom is a character that can stand on his own in his own movie. Madam Web, not as much. But a Morbius and Kraven movie, those should easily appeal to me. You make a Kraven movie that's revenge, that's a revenge story, low budget, R-rated, just cool as hell action. And then you also got a Morbius film that delves into the horrors of a doctor experimenting on himself. I think all of that is pretty cool. I think people were saying that Madam Web, the original concept was that it was supposed to be Terminator, but with Spider-Man, or you know, Spider-Man's mother. So because of Madam Web, Venom 3, and now this, they have lost my trust. Sony has lost my trust with this IP, with the Spider-Man-less universe. They trolled me. They trolled me for 3 movies straight this year. And it's not like they can't make great movies, because they made Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think Into the Spider-Verse is the greatest thing ever, but I think Across the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie of 2023 and the best Spider-Man movie, in my opinion. It hurts me so much to say that Kraven the Hunter is just flat out terrible. So don't go see it. It's a D, and just save yourself the trouble, please. I didn't go see this in a theater full of rowdy people. I saw this in a theater with at least 10 other people, and we chuckled at a lot of things in this movie, but overall, this was a really bad experience. And also, it's a 3 out of 10, by the way. Alright guys, that is it for the rant. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you are free to comment down below. What did you think of Kraven the Hunter? Did you hate it or did you hate it? Because I don't think anybody loved this film at the end of me, you know, ranting about it. But with all that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter and that TikTok. Those links are in the description. And with all of that out of the way, I'll see you all next time. Peace.